Hi everyone, welcome to MuleSoft Tech. Today we are going to cover 4 of the most important and frequently used functions in DataWeave: map, MapObject, filter and FilterObject. By the end of this video, you will know when to use each one and how to write them confidently. Before we jump into functions, let's quickly understand what is DataWeave. DataWeave is a functional programming language built in MuleSoft's Endpoint Studio. It is used inside the transform message component to convert data from one format to another format like JSON to XML or CSV to Java objects. Now let's look at map function. Map function works on arrays. The input format is array. It loops through every element in the array and applies a transformation to each item. Think of it like a conveyor or belt. So every item goes in, gets processed and comes out changed. And we are going to apply a lambda function to every item, and lambda is nothing but a dollar and double dollar. We are applying item. Instead of using item, we are going to use dollar, and instead of using index, we are going to use double dollar. Let me go into implementation part. Let me open DataView Playground. In that DataView Playground, how we are going to pass input and how we are going to write DataView script for mapping. Let me open DataView Playground. Here is the DataView Playground. Here, this is the input in JSON format. I take an array of objects for employees data, name, salary. Here this is the output format. I want to retrieve the format as index, name and net pay. Here net pay is 45,000 and here in input we have a 50,000. So we have to deduct the amount which is in 0.90%. We have to deduct 90%, then we can achieve this 45,000. So let me show you how we are going to write the script. First we have to write payload map. We have to write map for iterating on each item, and we have to print what are the keys and values we have to print. Means first we have to take index. Next we have to take, here this is the 0 index is starts from 0, so that's why we have to directly keep in index. Here we can able to see output is in the form of index. Likewise we have to keep the comma. After that we have to keep name key. Then we have to retrieve from item.name. After that we have to calculate net pay. For that purpose we have to keep net pay key value, item dot salary and into 0.9. Then here we have the payload which is in the form of required output. Next we go to the map object. In map object, while map works on arrays, right? Similarly, map object works on objects. The curly braces we have to denote inside curly braces as key value pairs structure, and it loops through every key value pair and lets you transform both key and the value. In our example, we have the object like fruit prices, and we use map object for changing the key as uppercase and every fruit name and increasing the price by 10%. Notice the parenthesis around the key. Let me go to the data playground how we are going to write the script for the map object for iterating on the key value pairs. Let me take here, this is the map this is an object with the key value pairs. Here this is the fruit names, and here these are the prices of fruit. Here our required output is here, which keys are in uppercase, and output should be, we have to multiply with the 10%. So we have to add of the each price to the 10%. So let me write the data code, data script for this to achieve this output. Here first we have to calculate the price. We have to add 10%. For that, let me take input payload. First example, my apple value. After that we have to into and divide it by 10 with the 100. Then we get the output as 0.15. We have to add each item as the 0.15. Let me take the payload, and we have to apply map object for iterating on the each key value pair. Payload map object, and here we have to write the key value pair. First, when we are going to write the key, we have to wrap in normal braces, open and closed parenthesis. After that, we have to write key. Here we have keys are in uppercase, so that's why we are going to use upper function. Here we are going to write the upper function. After that, we have to pass the key, and then we have to keep colon. After that we have to write value. Here it changes the keys as in uppercase. Okay, half of the requirement we are satisfied, and we have to add the plus 0.15. Here we didn't got the answer, so that's why we have to into the 1 point. This is not a requirement, so we have to into the 1.10. Then we got the required output. Similarly, we can use the map object for iterating on each key value pair and changing the keys and values based on our logic, business logic. Now let's talk about filter function. Filter is also works on arrays, and but instead of transforming items, it removes items that don't meet a certain criteria. Things it's like only items that pass the test get through. In our example, we have a list of orders with different statuses. We use filter to keep only the orders where the status is equals to shipped. Everything else remaining all items which is not met the criteria, that's items are discarded. Let me go to the data playground. Then we are going to write the script for that this orders input. Here my requirement is here, this is the input. These are the three items, order items, and IDs and statuses and amount. Here this is the required output whose status is equals to shipped. Let me write the filter function for filtering the items whose status is shipped. Let me take payload. Next we have to apply filter, means we have to write a condition, item dot status equal to we have to keep shipped sh. Yeah, here I got the output, right? I got the output. Here when we are going to filter only certain items only, then we are going to use filter function. Here the input format is in array and output format is also in array for filter function. Last one is filter object. Just like a filter works on arrays, similarly filter object works on objects, and it loops through each key value pair and removes the pairs that don't match your condition. In our example, we have a config object with the 4 fields. We want to remove any field whose value is false. So that's why similarly we can write the script in data playground. Let me open the data playground. Here there are 4 key value pairs in an object. I want to remove a particular debug key. Here I write a filter object for achieving this output. Here I apply a not function, not and key contains debug. We can able to write another way also. Value not equals to false. Here I got a required output. Let's go to a quick comparison. When we have an input like an array and you want to transform, then we are going to use map. And if you have any input like object and you want to transform, then we are going to use MapObject. If your input is an array and you want to remove particular items and applying some logics, then we are going to use filter. And if your input is an object and you want to remove entries, then we are going to use filter object. Let's say wrap on 4 core data functions. In the next video we will go to reduce, group by and more. If this was helpful, please like and share, subscribe to the channel and drop your questions in the comment. I will answer to everyone. See you in the next video. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe for more videos. Please do comment for document. Thank you.